Welcome back everybody to another episode of my Journey series. We are still in Alpha 1.1. I'm planning to do a bit more work in this area. I was hoping to go caving. I mean, we might go caving. It really just depends what I feel like. We might end up going caving this episode, but I really need some resources such as iron. Diamonds would be nice. We might... that might come into it this episode. Basically, my plan currently is to dig out this well. The idea that I've got is it's going to go all the way down to Y10, and then we're going to have a kind of branch mine down there, and over here at the area between these two houses I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do. I think this is going to be the way up, and we're going to use minecarts to do that. So minecarts will bring the player all the way up here. I did that in my previous Alpha world, and I think that'll work well. So that's something for us to try this episode. I wish to point out that I grew a tree over here. I might have set it up on camera last episode, I can't remember. But it grew. Hopefully it's out of range of the fire. Obviously it's got the typical old Alpha look with the leaves already decaying. It's tall enough, it's not too tall. I like it, I think it looks okay. I was having second thoughts about the roof of these houses. I was planning to just go full slabs. We might do that actually, although if we do that I will probably just do it off camera. But that's one idea I had, and I might put that into practice this episode. Also, it'd be nice to get another couple of buildings kicking around. I don't want to make this place like Fairhochin, but I would want to have one or two more builds just to, you know, make it look that wee bit more like a town, like a village, that sort of a thing. I'm not quite sure what I planned with this originally, but I think it's coming together pretty well. I'm happy with it. Right, one other project I wanted to do something on was the staircase up here. We started this a while back. We started our path into the mountains. Up to that second tower that we built there, or first tower, I don't remember which tower was built first. So the idea is we're going to continue the path up to the top of the hill. I was originally wanting it to get to the top of the hill, I just never got round to finishing it. So that's what we're going to attempt to do now. It's been a while since I've been up here. I don't really come up here that often because there's really no... well, there's nothing up here apart from the tower. Right, here we go. So I'm planning to make it go up there or up there, then zigzag up to there. Just an easier way of getting to the top of the hill. There's the bridge, of course. So the bridge joins up with this area too. In fact, the bridge was probably a quicker way of getting here. Okay, so got the simple path finished. It wasn't too tedious a task, or at least not as tedious as I thought it would be. As you can see, we've got the higher tower, the upper tower over here. I created a bit of a pathway around one side of it that links the bridge and the tunnel staircase. And then it just continues up here in a staircase form. And it just takes you all the way to the top of the hill. I do have a bit of a railing here because, you know, the stairs are quite steep. You might need it. Totally not because the stairs were facing the opposite way and I had to put a block here to keep them the right way, or keep them in the right orientation. I just did a random pattern thing there just to make it look, instead of building up a hill, because what I was doing here to keep the stairs straight was I was building the hill up further. Didn't really want to do that there, so I thought might as well just add a staircase along with fence posts that don't connect to blocks, but I'm not salty at all. And then yeah, just continue up here, and this is of course the hill I stood on to celebrate the new year, which seems a long time ago now, believe you me. And yeah, I should mention I've not actually explored that direction an awful lot in this world, but we will hopefully do that in the coming episodes, as I do want to, like, before we upgrade to the Alpha 1.2, no, yeah, Alpha 1.2, I want to load as much of this terrain as possible, and so we'll probably head off that way and see what we can find. But overall, I'm satisfied with this build. It's good to have an easy way to get up. That was the aim, and that is what we have accomplished. So I've dug this entire well down to around bedrock level. We're going to work on a bit of a water drop now, and then hopefully we'll get the rail track or whatever it will be to get up. Hopefully we'll work on that during this episode. We managed to intersect with a branch mine, an existing branch mine, but what I'm planning to do is, well, we're going to have to make a bunch of signs first. I'm just going to hold some water up, and hopefully that will work well enough as a means of breaking our fall when we come down here. We're going to need a lot of signs, unfortunately, but that's just part of the parcel of playing this older version. Well, we need a lot of signs anyway. It's just the older signs would be easier, or the amount of signs would be easier to obtain. So I think what we'll do is, can we put it up there? Can we get away with that? I reckon we can. If not, we'll just have to load it, which will obviously be annoying. Let's just place them all on the wall like so. Oh, okay, we'll need to do that eventually, so we might as well start now. Let's break that. We do have some more. We're probably going to have to go up and get some more planks. I wonder if that's the last of it. Well, now we can start placing the signs on top of the other signs. Create the floating sign effect, and then we can continue expanding into the middle from there. Alright, I think that might be enough. It might be. We'll just have to wait and see. I think I made far too many. Let's just chuck all of the signs over there for now. We do have 2 water buckets, which is good. We can make an infinite source just over here. Temporary one at least. And now we're going to just go and fill in the water up here. Did that work? Looks like it. Unfortunately, we've got to place every single block because it's not going to create source blocks like it does in modern versions. But that's okay, it's only a small enough area, and we can place blocks above to create the ones that aren't against the wall or whatever. So as you can see, the well has water at the bottom of it. We're now going to test it out as a water drop. Hopefully I don't die. That's good. So it works just as intended. So now what we want to be doing is, well, I want to kind of construct a bit of a mine shaft down here. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that. I do have plans to make another mine somewhere else. I might refer to it in another episode. This one's not going to be too extensive, but we'll see what we can do. But the most important thing is getting the way to get back up via the rail track, the minecart, whatever. We need to get that sorted for today. Okay, so we're going to work now on the exit system. This is how we're going to get back up from the potential mines down there. We're going to get up here via a minecart. I did one of these in my old alpha world back in the day, so it's not a new thing that I've done. It's an idea I've kind of taken from that, although I never got nearly as much built in that as I have done here. But what we're going to do is, I think we'll just... well, we'll have the tunnel go around and down, I reckon. I think that's probably the best way of doing things. We'll need to go in a bit more until we get to a point where we're not going to, leave the hill and go out into the open. I don't want to go out in the open. There's still the white stitching at the side of blocks I just noticed there. I think that'll be enough. We'll go along that far, and then we'll turn here. This will be our first turn. Since we're only 2 wide, we'll stay as 2 wide. So fast forward 15-20 minutes, and I've got the downward slope completed. It goes all the way down to level 10, which is the level that the well drops you down to. We don't need 2 torches side by side. So yeah, this is effectively our way up. And my plan is actually to craft some stairs. We're going to have two ways up. There's going to be a rail cart, a minecart option, a track that goes all the way to the surface, but there will also be a staircase just because, you know, I might not always have a minecart or it might glitch out. They seem to be very... Well, minecarts have always been very glitchy, but especially when you're trying to do the booster glitch, sometimes the booster minecarts disappear, which isn't so helpful. But I think what we'll do is we'll have the track going up the right hand side here. The reason for that is to give it the optimal space to turn and, you know, go up, because if it was here it would turn and go into the block, it wouldn't go up. You can't get rails to turn and go up a block. Oh, hello. Mr. Skeleton has found his home in our exit area. But yeah, I'm going to probably put the minecart up this side. As you can see, it goes from 2 wide to 3 wide. That's just to be in keeping with what's up there and what's down here. I'm okay with that. You know what, we might actually make this bit 3 wide too. That would make sense. And we'll have would it make sense though? Yeah, it would. I'm going to have to do a bit of work then to realign this staircase here to be in keeping with this one. But we'll have the stairs in here, and then we'll have the rail track up the right hand side as you're going up. So that's how we'll do it. I don't think we'll get on. We won't get the rail track built today 100% because I have no iron. Like, the iron I'm finding while building this, I'm just turning into other pickaxes just for, you know, to make digging easier. I've accomplished most of what I wanted this episode. We do have the water drop here with a bit of a meme added to it. And as you can see over here, we've got the staircase and the mould, or the layout for the rail track, sorted, which is good. There was a few issues with regards to the alignment of the tunnels, because if you remember, I turned this from 2 wide to 3 wide, which had a knock-on effect further up. I could realign this tunnel, but the one... Oh, that's not a stair. The tunnel right at the very top, the entrance tunnel, there was issues with that because that's only 2 wide, and the staircase wasn't lengthy enough to get the player all the way to the top. But that's okay. I've come to a compromise in, well, extending the staircase round into the exit tunnel, as I'll show here. It's not a big deal. I don't know why I'm making it out like it's a big deal, but as you can see, it was supposed to end here. But because I made that 3 wide and did something else, it ends around here. But that's fine, because the minecart can end right here, and that gives us a nice wee exit. So everything with regards to the exit is fine, apart from the fact we don't have any iron to make rails. In a future episode, a near future episode, we are going to go caving. I'm pretty sure I said that before, but for sure we will go caving because I need iron if we're going to make these things work. But yeah, that's mission accomplished. Now, as you can see, I did alter the flooring. We've got a combination of slabs and cobblestone, and the exit for all of these will be out here basically, and that will lead to other parts of the mine shaft. We're not going to work on them today, and this is more going to be for aesthetics and actual resources, because if I haven't said, or well, I have said, I know I've said, but if you haven't heard me say, the branch mining really doesn't work in this terrain. This world was generated in InfDev, and InfDev was just awful for branch mining. Like, I dug so many tunnels under my base, I found barely anything to justify it, which goes to show that in some of the early versions it was better to cave. Today, I think people have generally found that branch mining's better than caving. I think it really just depends on your preference, but in this version there's really no point in branch mining. So my point of saying that is, the mines we're going to put at the bottom of the well, they will be just for aesthetics. So we'll try and make them look as nice as possible. Finally, I want to get a bit of an idea as to how wool and logs are going to look, because I do want to build another structure kind of close by here. I was going to use one of those houses like as a base kind of, but they're kind of far away from the Eats Road, so I think I'll build a bit of a base here with chests and stuff in it. And by base I just mean another house really, but I wanted to go for a wool and wood combination, so that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to shape the land ever so slightly. That's one of the interesting discussions is, you know, a lot of people would claim that beta 1.7.3 and, you know, other versions were the real version of Minecraft. You know, after those versions passed into history, you know, the game wasn't good anymore or it wasn't fun. That's the real debate, you know. Has the game got better? You know, some people would say no, some people would say it was better in beta 1.7.3, or, you know, PvPers would say 1.7, or I'm sure there's other debates out there. People that like the old colour scheme would say 1.11. But for me, I do feel, and the reason I'm saying this is obviously just with the amount of changes that are coming to the game currently, I would say that the game, it genuinely has got better. I do enjoy playing in the modern versions. I know it's kind of a bit ironic I'm saying that, and I'm playing in alpha, but I think the idea is I liked the simplicity of alpha, which is why I'm playing this version still. However, I think the game as a whole is just better in the modern updates. Obviously, because there's more to it, there's more bug fixes. I don't buy the whole idea that the game's gone backwards necessarily, but that's just my personal take on it. And the only reason I'm saying that is, as I said, there's a lot of changes coming to the game, and people in the past have been inclined to believe that, you know, the game was better in this version or that version. Again, I'm playing in this version mainly just for the simplicity, but I still think the modern version is the best version of the game. I'm trying to think of any version that's come out that I've not liked, like genuinely just despised. But I don't remember, honestly. Right, does that work? Does that look okay? I think we can make it work. The idea then would be to have a bit, like maybe an entrance hall. We'll make it, she'll make it 5 wide instead of 3 wide. 3 wide might be a bit too limiting. And then we'll make it go up by 3 maybe. Or no, let's do 3 by 3 because it will go up by 3 as well. Unfortunately, it won't be in line with the entrance part. This is a build that will continue next episode, no doubt. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, we'll do that. That looks fine. And then we can just connect up like this. This is similar to a build that I made on the RSG server back in the day. I think it was a church, a Highland Cathedral, that's what we built. I remember that, that was good. Good times. But it's a similar sort of structure, but I'm going to try and shape it like a house. The wool gives us, it certainly gives a different texture. Let's get some glass out, see how that looks. It's going to be kind of like, remember the Lovegoods house from Harry Potter in the film? I'm sure it was the same in the book, but I can't remember the book as well as I can remember the film. Yeah, we're going to need more wool. You might think wool's difficult to get. It is. It's harder to get in this version, but I've actually got a really, really good supply of it at my base. Oh, get out of here, sheep. Sheep just took every shot there for the skeleton. Man, that skeleton, sorry, owes the sheep a drink. Apart from the fact they're both dead now, but if they were still alive, that skeleton would owe that sheep a drink. Anyway, yeah, so this is what we're going to be working on next episode. And the point is the house is going to extend further out this way. Not quite sure how it'll look or what form it'll take, but we shall see. I should have made an iron pickaxe, an iron axe. Sorry, what was I thinking? I wasted all my iron. I wasted iron on a garden utensil. I think that must have been a mistake. That must have been a mistake. Anyway, I'm going to end the episode there. Appreciate we've not done an awful lot, but we did complete the path up by the 2 towers, and we did get the mining system started. We got way down and up. At some point in the future we'll go caving. Next episode we will work on this build here. But until next time, thank you very much for your company. All the best. I'll see you later.